Okie dokie. Hello there, everybody. I'm just going to do my usual checks. Make sure that we are actually indeed live. It says I'm live. Um, can I see? Yeah, it seems like I am live. I'm just going to get up. Excuse me. Get up the chat. There's the chat. Oh, all except Facebook groups and LinkedIn. Okay, so if you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, I can see you. If you're watching on, I tell you what, I might just jump on to the Music Career Mastermind and have a watch in case there's any questions that do come up. Okay, there we go. I've got that in front of me there now. Cool. So let's get stuck into the today's content. So this month's content in the Music Career Mastermind. So this is the monthly Music Career Mastermind live stream, live session. Please feel free to join in, chip in questions, ask questions, chip in opinions, anything along those lines. If this is your first time coming across me, my name is Barry Carroll. I help musicians unlock their full potential and create and sustainable and profitable careers for themselves in music, no matter what their chosen field is. I myself run a music school here in Aberdeen in Scotland, and I have been working as a professional musician for longer than I've not. I also host the Music Career Show podcast. It is a weekly podcast that goes out on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all over the place, and we speak to some of the world's best, busiest musicians. We've had some fantastic guests on. Well, I've had some fantastic guests, and I don't know why I'm saying we, like I'm the royal we or something like that, but I've had some fantastic guests on since I started in October, and I've got even more fantastic guests lined up for the months to come. So I wanted to talk today about something that I didn't really ever consider when I was trying to build a career in music for myself. And it's only something that is literally as recent as like kind of last week that I realized what a difference this makes. And it is good photography. So good photography as to use the example, an awful lot of musicians that I know that are local to Aberdeen, they will use the really good photographs that have been taken at anyone from Aberdeen will know the Bridge Street Social Club and the live open mics that they have, and they get loads of really, really good photos from that. Or anyone that plays on Ship Row will get loads of really, really good photos from their Saturday night gigs and stuff like that, and they'll be tagged in really good photos. And everybody always uses those photos as their profile photos because they paint them in the best light and they look amazing. They look fantastic. And I didn't realize just how much of a difference that really made until I started looking at the engagement that I've been getting on my my socials lately. And we kind of, between myself and Matthew, the general manager for One Lad Music, he does all the social media and stuff, and he started posting stuff with photos of me in it. Now, the fact that it's me makes no difference. The difference is that it's a person and it's a real person showing real emotion and stuff, and that's what really good photography can do. It can get across. It can connect with people on an emotional level, which is what you want when you're trying to build a brand about yourself, build awareness of your music, build awareness of your music business, build awareness of any sort of business. Is that you want to make a genuine emotional connection with the person that is going to be availing of your services, be it booking you for a gig, be it taking your guitar lessons, listen to your podcast, buying your online course, whatever it may be. And so many musicians, in fact, I can't think of any good musician, or sorry, that's not fair. I can't think of any musicians, good or otherwise, that actually have professional taught out photography. And I think it's a trick that all of us are missing. And I think it's also something that is very, very achievable for all of us in this day and age, particularly because we've all got the likes of our smartphones. I know I've got an iPhone, and there is literally a setting on it that says studio setting or studio lighting, and it looks amazing. So I wanted to talk about that and to get some some to give you some pointers and some tips and how I'm now going to be taking advantage of doing better, taking better photos and making use of them. If anybody has anything to chip in, we've got a couple of people watching. If there's anybody wanting to chip in, what's your profile photo? Where did it come from? Is it just one that's of you from your mate's house 10 years ago, or what's the crack? I'm gonna have a drink while you ponder that. Okay, so feel free to chip in at any time. If you chip in while I'm talking, then that's absolutely fine. I'll come back to it. So here's a couple of tips that I've written down. I'm going to reference my notes here. So first of all, let's use my picture here as an example. The point I'm trying to get across is I want people to pay attention to me, so I don't really have that much. Like, obviously, I've got my background. I'm in my studio here, and I've got stuff in the background, but it's all kind of like blurred. Now, that's an awful lot to do with the camera. It's a decent camera, but let's take, for example, let's use this as an example of we're going to take a photo and we're lining up or setting up the photo, for example. So if I'm zoomed in here, so if I zoom back out. Here's me zoomed back out in the studio. If you couldn't tell when I was zoomed in here, I am talking so much with my hands. It's unbelievable. I feel like one of the politicians when they were giving all like the COVID briefings that like literally talk with their hands and they're so animated and stuff like that. But anyway, so let's start with this view here. Now, this is not a bad view. It still has me in the forefront. It still has me as the complete center of attention. You're not really going to be drawn anywhere else. There's a big rack of guitars there. There's stuff in the background. Do you know what I mean? That isn't relevant. It just kind of looks cool and it gives a good background. That's okay for a talking head video like this when I'm talking to the camera. But if you're trying to take a photo and look professional, people don't need to see that in the background. Okay? So start off by just taking a photo of exactly what you need. So for something like a Facebook profile photo, a LinkedIn profile photo, an Instagram or whatever, just something with your head. That's absolutely fine. And nowadays you can remove the background of everything anyways. So it won't make a difference if you have a bad background or otherwise. But something there like that. I'm just going to double check that I can actually see. Yeah, there we go. That's it. So apologies for that. So yeah, let's start off by framing the photo correctly. Now, another thing is lighting. So it's dark, it's nighttime. I don't have any natural lighting at the moment. What I do have is I've got some lights on in the background and I've got a light pointing directly at me. As you can see on my face there is huge shadows. I'm going to turn that off. Look at the difference that has made. Now, if I had started the live stream like this and then turned on the light, it actually wouldn't be too bad. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be too bad. It's perfectly palatable. There's nothing overly wrong with it. But let the camera adjust to the colors and there we go. A much, much more pleasing, flattering light. I've also got another, and that is literally just like a 10 quid light that I bought from Amazon. Now it's blinding me, but I'm not looking directly at it, so it's not too bad. I've got another light. So you can see that my face is sort of shadowed here. I've got another light just up here. Let's see what that does. And now all of a sudden, you can completely see my face in a much more flattering light than you could previously. And that was literally just two cheap lights just placed properly. So make sure that you can be seen. And do all this before you take the photo because you don't want to be going around editing, using editing software. I don't know anything about photo editing bar what I can do in Canva. But as far as contrast and saturation and all that other jazz, not a clue. So yeah, so make sure that you're framing it properly and putting in a little bit of thought before you take the photo. Now, as I said, on your iPhone, if you go to the photo app, I don't know about Android. I'm sure there is an Android equivalent, or if not, you can get photograph camera apps that will have all these settings in it. But in the native iPhone camera app, there is Studio lighting, and it just, or contour lighting. There's loads of things that make it look really, really good. So I would start off with that. The location where you take your photo can also have a significant impact on the overall look and feel of your photos. So if you're wanting to invite people to your studio, do this. Look at all the stuff that's there. This is cool. Come to my studio and have a go of it and learn how to play all these things. That's great. If you're wanting to come across as a professional, here's me. I am who I am, and that's fine. So think about what your background is going to be. I'd avoid anything that's going to distract from the main focus. If the studio is the main focus, by all means have the studio in it. If you're the main focus, just have you as much as possible. Yeah, that's my first point there. Lighting, I've already touched on. Ideally, you don't want light pointing directly at the camera, because that will just make it not great at all. You'll just get glare and all sorts of things, and it just causes more problems than it solves. So light your subject, you are the subject or whatever it is, as much as you can, and just play around with it. Natural light is probably the best. So if you're standing with a window facing you, it's nice and sunny, and you've the camera facing the window, that's half the battle. Or any photographers out there are probably cursing my name now, saying that I'm talking complete and utter muck, but that is what I have found, and you can nearly guarantee that it's going to be 10 times better than what you have anyway. So if it's an improvement, that's all we're here to do. Depending on what sort of a vibe you're going for, if you're going for, or what sort of a musician you are, your outfit should match the style and mood of your music and or brand. So, for example, if you're a classical musician, a formal outfit might be appropriate. Do you know what I mean? Like, think of a classical musician in your head. What are they wearing? Exactly. If you're a singer-songwriter, what are they wearing? A little bit more casual might look better. If you're looking for professional photos, put on a shirt. Put on a shirt and have just a plain white background. Really, really simple things like that. So consider the colors you wear and how they will look in your photo. I wrote that down. You can. It all just depends. If you're trying to look professional, you've got a really bold red shirt on. That mightn't give across the best impression of what you're trying to do. Maybe it will. Maybe it's your brand colors. Who knows? But yeah, things to think about. Props and accessories can add interest and personality to your photos. So if you're a singer, get a microphone. Do you know what I mean? Then people know exactly who you are. You're a microphone. You're a singer. Do you know what I mean? It gets across your point immediately. If you're a guitar teacher, have a guitar. If you're a mandolin teacher, if you're a drum teacher, pair of drumsticks. Do you know what I mean? Something along those lines. Put the drumstick behind your ear like you would a pencil. Ow, that really, really hurt. Because that's all frayed. You'll have to tear the ear off yourself. Anyway, things along those lines. Tread the line of being cringy. You don't want to go and be too cringy, but you'll know yourself. You'll know yourself exactly what props can help communicate your profession and passion for music. And maybe you have things that are unique to your brand. I can't think of any musical ones off the top of my head, but I did do a branding workshop recently where the guy's logo was a duck, and he used a duck to get the point across. It was very, very clever. So, yeah. One thing that I would advise every musician to do, every single musician should start doing this, and it is start getting comfortable in front of a camera. So my problem with photos is that I hate getting photos taken. I hate it. I absolutely can't stand it. I've always hated it. I don't think I'll ever not hate it, but it's just one of those things. If you see any of the photos of me that have been taken in Malone's, for example, I'm always doing this because that's just my go-to. I don't know how to take photos, and it can be something that, while it mightn't directly hold you back, it's no harm to be able to pose for photos, and it's no harm to have a load of good photos of yourself to use. So getting used to having your photo taken is a really, really good thing. And there's some really easy ways that you can implement this. 2 minutes a day, 30 seconds a day. So I'm going to say everybody the task. Anyone that's watching this, if you're watching it live, great stuff. If you're watching it back later on, if you're listening to it in podcast form, for the next week, I want you to take 5 photos of yourself every day. You can literally just sit in front of your phone for 30 seconds, take 5 photos, bang, 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 with different expressions on your face in different poses. Be as stupid and as silly as you want. And at the end of the week, see what worked. Have a look. See, did any of those photos? Oh, that would be good for an Instagram post about X, Y, and Z, or that would be good to if someone's looking for me to play at their wedding. I can include that as on a testimonial sheet or something along those lines. Like I said at the start, photos are all about evoking an emotional response from the person that you're trying to influence, for lack of a better term. If anyone you're trying to influence is someone that you're wanting to pay for your services, so you're trying to influence them by putting your best foot forward, and photos are a great way of doing that. So how do we do that? So 30 seconds a day for the next 7 days, 5 photos, that's 35 photos. Quick maths, bang. I've got a couple of props here. Couple of things here that will make life easier. Now, you can simply start off by getting your phone, resting it up against something, and use the selfie camera. And just use the selfie camera and set a timer or whatever. Hold it up like that, and just do the duck face thing. Do you know what I mean? You can start off like that. That is absolutely perfect. See if it works. Maybe it will work. Maybe that's part of your brand. Maybe that's part of your appeal. See if it works. Something else to think about is to turn the phone the other way around and use the good camera. Use the good camera at the back. You'll notice that on this version of the iPhone there are 3 different lenses, whereas on the front there is only just the one, like, selfie cam. And the back cameras on phones tend to be way, way better than the selfie cams. So use the best of what you have. So set it up on something, frame up your shot, set the timer for 10 seconds, press play, press the button, and then run into your seat and see how you get on. Do that 5 times in different poses and see what works. Like I said at the start, use the best camera settings possible. So the contour light works really, really well. The studio light works really, really well for Android. Hopefully Android users will know what the equivalent is. Some ways to make that easier on yourself are to get these things. So this is a phone holder. If anyone didn't know that anyway, it literally just, you slot your phone in and you can hold it like that. It's a tripod, so it works. It's like that. So that will make life easier for you to actually set up your camera, so that you're not having to like prop it up on things and potentially have it fall off and break, and it's just having to prop it up and then it's just sitting and you push the button and you have to run around and things like that. So using something like that is really handy. You can get these on Amazon for nothing. 5 quid. 5 quid, 10 quid, whatever it is. Buy it on Amazon, use it for a week, and then if you don't like it, send it back and get your money back. Job's also. Cost you nothing. Another thing that I've got is one of these things, and it is literally just, it's a Bluetooth button, basically. You pair it with your phone and you press the button and it'll take the photo for you. So you can set up your phone and line up your shot, and then all you need to do then is just use your little clicker and it'll take the photo for you. So you could be like back here and like click, and that's it. Really, really simple thing like that. Again, that was $4.99 on Amazon, and I think I overpaid for that. I think if I looked really hard enough, I could find that for way less. You can actually get these things on Amazon as like a package. You can get a phone tripod and one of these, and they like this is usually thrown in with the phone tripod if you find the right package. Simple as that. Now, if you wanted to take it to the next level a little bit, I've got this bad boy here, this assembly. So hang on, I actually should have taken this off the tripod. So I've got this on a tripod. Jesus, I'm making an absolute mess of the place. Just a really cheap tripod that came with my photo lights. So this whole assembly probably cost me about 30 quid. I'm going to zoom out a bit. So the bracket, the holder, that was about £17. And that, again, you set your phone in there like so. Set your phone in there. Now that's sturdy. That's going absolutely nowhere. And then you just screw it into tripod there. Okay. Now, these attachments on the top. So this first one is a light. Like I said, lighting is everything. This one, you can turn it down, you can turn it up, you can change the color of it and stuff like that. That's a fancy one. You do not need this. This was, I don't know, say 15 pounds, no, about 10 pounds, something like that. So I lied. This whole assembly cost me about 40 pounds. But the light is really good because, as you can see, the more light, the better, if used correctly. This is a handy little thing used for a camera, and you may be able to see that it is a mirror. I don't know if you'll be able to see. You probably won't be able to see, but basically it means that I can look at the camera dead on like that, look in the little mirror and line up my shot. And then once I've got my little clicker, away we go. Click, easy peasy. And I've also got this little stick-on mirror that I got off eBay for like 2 quid. And that just allows me to line up the shot a little bit better. So things like that make this task an awful lot more accessible. Especially if you have them set up like I do. I literally have this assembly set up on my tripod, right beside me. And whenever I get a spare 5 minutes in between lessons or in between tasks or something, I have just started taking photos in different poses, making different faces, showing different emotions, thinking of different uses for it. And yeah, if nothing else, if I get no other benefit from this, I am getting myself more used to being on camera. I'm getting myself used to thinking about what emotions will evoke what response from people. Yeah, there are so many benefits to this. At the end of the week, you'll have 35 photos of yourself. Store them all on like a Google Drive or on Notion or something along those lines. If you don't know what Notion is, give us a shout and I'll give you a free class on it. Free class. Who am I? Yeah, give me a shout and I'll happily show you what I do with those photos, and I stock them up, and it means that I now have a bank of different photos that will work with different things on different social media platforms, depending on what I'm trying to promote, what I'm trying to, as I said, how I'm trying to influence the people that are going to see those. Of course, you can take the background. You can literally just imagine me that you could, without this background, you can put me on anything. You can put me in any sort of a scenario whatsoever, and it's so easy to do with Canva and things like that nowadays. You can actually do it natively on the iPhone. I think I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but do it on Canva. It's free. Cool. So, just to recap really quick, basically, musicians, get the finger out. Go and take photos of yourself. Get used to having photos taken. Take the best photos possible. For the next 7 days, take 5 photos every single day. It'll take you no more than 5 minutes. If you want to get all this stuff on Amazon and set it up and have it set up there, it'll take you 5 minutes to set it up on the first day. Then you simply just stick your phone in, click the clicker 5 times, making 5 different faces and with different backgrounds, wearing different clothes every day, obviously. And you'll be amazed at how powerful that is. You could even go so far and do it for the next 11 days. And then you'll have a different photo for every day of the week. Every week of the year, I should say. You'll have 55 photos. And you'll have 3 weeks left over. You'll have 3 that you can swap in and out. Yeah, yeah, I hope this has been helpful. If it has been, let me know. Thanks very much for listening. Don't forget, in the description of this is my music career roadmap. It is a full comprehensive guide on how I went from absolutely nothing in music to now owning a music school, hosting a podcast, and I've also got my music career academy that I'm helping other musicians just like you to unlock their full potential and create sustainable and profitable careers for themselves, and help them turn their dreams into a reality and stop dreaming about them, stop working in those jobs that they don't want to do, making music their full-time thing, which I know an awful lot of you listening out there and watching out there, that is what your hopes and dreams and ambitions for life are. And I really want to help you get there. Download my free guide. It's called a free guide because it's free. If you need some extra support, by all means, reach out to me, Barry at onelabmusic.com, or you can get me on Facebook, Barry Carroll, One Lab Music, Instagram, all that kind of jazz. Yeah, I think that is it for just now. If there's no one else I'm going to just pause just for 2 seconds to take a quick sup of my drink. If no one has anything to add, I'm just going to sign off, and I'm going to go inside and watch The Apprentice and Dragon's Den. All right, lads. Been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much for listening. I will see you in the next one. Bye.